Hello and welcome to Car News Weekly with me, Bleed Carswell. Now, as the name suggests, in this series I will be running through some car news stories with you. It's the first one, so you have to bear with me. It's a bit of an experiment at this stage, and I've chosen 7 of my favourite stories that have happened throughout this last week to go through. I think 7's a good number because it means the video will be a decent length without being too long. I'm going to try and be fairly to the point and not ramble too much. So with that being said, from 1939 Bentleys to Audi electronic scooters, let's get on with week 1. Now I just want to jump in quickly and apologise for the awful picture quality and the terrible lighting in this video. I'm not entirely sure what happened, to be honest with you. I'm hoping you can still enjoy the video. Just treat it as a bit of a proof of concept, I think. Now, what better way to start this series than with a pair of Hypercars? I'm aware it looks like I've got no arms. I do have some. The t-shirt's just kind of blending in with everything. Now you have to bear with me with the pronunciation here, but Slovenian supercar manufacturer Tushek are set to debut their spectacular TS 900H Apex at the Saloon Privé. I think that's how you pronounce all that. And again, bear with me, I'm using this. Kind of want it to be informal, but it's not turning out like that because I keep doing different takes. Anyway, this car is going to be called, as I said, the TS 900H Apex. Not very catchy. And the headline figures are 950 horsepower, over 1400 newton meters of torque, an 60 time of 2.5 seconds, and a top speed of 236 miles an hour. That's all fairly mental, and this is going to be a hybrid hypercar, so you're going to have 2 electric motors, 1 on each wheel, as well as a V8 engine, which I think is going to power the back. It's not going to be the fastest hypercar on the road, but the manufacturer's claiming it's going to be the lightest. It's going to weigh 1410 kilos. I don't know how much my car weighs. I think it's 300 kilos more than that. That's probably an average hatchback, I imagine. I don't know. According to them, this is thanks to a chrome moly space frame, and get this, a pre-impregnated carbon fibre body. Not really sure what that means. Is somebody running around the factory impregnating bits of carbon fibre? Sounds a bit gross. Now, as with all cars of this nature, I don't imagine they're going to be building many, and they're all going to cost an absolute fortune. What do you think of the looks? Personally, I'm not the biggest fan in the world. I think it looks a little bit kit car-y. That might be harsh on it. It doesn't look quite as elegant and desirable as I think a hypercar should, but no doubt it's going to be an impressive piece of kit. Now, the other hypercar news I wanted to mention was the Pininfarina Battista. This car has had some aerodynamic changes, and I believe what we're seeing now is going to be the final production model. It is set to be debuted at Monterey Car Week, which I believe is in America. There's loads of these events and they're all quite posh, so yeah, I guess it makes sense for it to go there. So like I said, this is going to be the final production model, I think, and this car, if you don't remember, is going to have 1900 brake horsepower. It is fully electric, so therefore it's got a massive amount of torque as well. That is 1696 foot-pounds. 0 to 62 will take less than 2 seconds. 0 to 186 miles an hour will take less than 12, and the top speed will be over 217 miles an hour. Yeah, all mental, and unlike the car above, I think this one does look desirable enough to be a hypercar. Whether or not something fully electric has the noise to go with a hypercar, that's another argument. But yeah, good looking car, and really I just wanted to include it so I could play some B-roll. Next up is news that Bentley, along with the guys at Mulliner, who I believe do their special coachwork projects, have recreated a 1939 Bentley Corniche. This car is believed to be the missing link from their lineage. And yeah, what is a 1939 Bentley Corniche? Well, essentially, I think it was a sporty derivative of what they were producing at the time. So thanks to a more streamlined body, this car did over 100 miles an hour in testing, which obviously in 1939 ain't that bad. Unfortunately though, as it was being moved to France for some road testing, the car was then involved in an accident with a bus, sorry. It was then repaired from that, and then as it was going for more testing, the driver had to swerve to avoid another accident and rolled the car. Yeah, that's a shame. Obviously, you can still repair a car after a roll, it just needs fixing up. But when it was at the docks in France, waiting to come back to Britain, the docks were bombed. So yeah, that's how the car became lost. Obviously, these guys are doing a spectacular job of recreating it, and they have been fairly sympathetic. So I believe original technical drawings were used, the mechanical components and the completely remade body are identical to the original car. I really like the toolkit in the back. That's kind of the attention to detail that this sort of car deserves. One other thing I sort of quite like from the press release is it says that they used a roll of carpet that they discovered in storage for the car. I don't know why, I just find it amusing that in a shed somewhere at Bentley, wherever, HQ, there is a roll of old carpet that is, convenient for this car. I don't know, it just made me laugh. No, it's not April Fool's Day. The next thing I want to talk about is an Audi e-tron scooter. That's right, Audi of all people are going to produce an electric scooter. This is no doubt thanks to the popularity of such things in cities like London. Who can really blame them? I guess if you're going to go buy one of these, why not buy one from a company like Audi? Right, I've got some key facts for you here and I want to read them properly so I don't want to get them wrong. It weighs 12 kilos, it has a 12.5 mile range as well as a 12.5 mile an hour top speed. You control it with one hand thanks to a twist grip on top of the handle, and it can also do some sort of recuperation when braking. I don't really think there was much details in the press release about that. And obviously the thing can be folded up when you're not using it. Now this is all very well and good. I'm not really sure about the legal status of such things in this country, and aside from that I don't really know where you could get away with riding one outside of London without either being robbed or possibly just taken the mick out of quite badly. I want to read a couple of things from the press release for you because it's been translated from German, I think, and nobody's really looked over it, and it just makes me giggle. Well, giggle, not really, but I just thought it was slightly amusing. So, above all, the Audi e-tron scooter stands out thanks to its handling, which is like surfing waves. Right, not really sure what that means. And then, the next bit, of course the Audi e-tron scooter also moves straight ahead, but the feeling of flow only comes when you start carving on asphalt, and that is surprisingly easy with our new concept. Yeah, not really sure what that means. I think essentially you can turn this thing like you would a skateboard, so the whole thing sort of pivots around your weight, which is quite cool, I guess. And also I think it's quite cool that the idea is you put it in the back of your e-tron car, so your Audi electric car of some description, and then it can be charged in there, and when you get close to your destination, kind of like, I don't know if people in other countries know what park and ride is, you probably know better than this country because it's not really used over here. But yeah, you get close to a city, and then like in park and ride style, you park your electric car up, get your scooter out the back, and then you go off to work on your electric scooter. All sounds pretty swell to be honest, but like I said, not sure how legal they are in this country, and also you'll just look like a bit of a pillock if I'm honest with you. So kind of carrying on with the eco theme that's been set by the electric scooter, let's look at Hyundai revealing a solar roof charging system. Now this system is set to debut on the hybrid Sonata, I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah, set to be debuted on that model, which is for Korean and North American markets only, I think. But I'm kind of going to ignore that because with this sort of technology, I'm going to imagine eventually it's going to make its way into products that we'll see. It just sort of makes sense to me. Why wouldn't you put a solar panel on the roof of an electric hybrid eco-friendly vehicle? That place, that, you know, a roof of a car is always going to see some UV rays. To me, it just makes loads of sense. At the moment, it's playing a supporting role to a hybrid system, but again, you can kind of imagine it making its way into a pure EV eventually. And obviously, the aim is to improve fuel efficiency and save on CO2 emissions. That's what everybody's trying to do. And apparently, over a year, this system can increase the distance travelled by 800 miles. Might not sound like a lot, but say you only do 5,000 miles a year, that system is obviously going to do quite a lot of saving for you. I don't know if I'm misinterpreting the news there, but I think 800 miles, so I assume you'd drive, and whilst you're driving it'd charge, so therefore you wouldn't be using the battery power, or maybe it'd be a case of when you park up it then recharges the battery. Not sure, I don't think it specified that, but either way it's cool and it seems like a step in the right direction to me. Depending on what you think of electric vehicles, this seems like a good sort of thing for them. Right, that's enough eco stuff for one episode. Let's go and see what America are doing. The Shelby GT500's 760 horsepower 5.2 litre V8 engine is the most power and torque dense supercharged V8 engine in the world. Cool, you can always rely on them for some good gasoline powered news. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't know an awful lot about the sort of Mustang range or much of the American manufacturers range, to be honest with you, but I think the Shelby GT500 is set to be their top of the range Mustang. So I think it's set to hit dealers in autumn. It's a 2020 model, so I don't think it's been launched yet. Feel free to fill me in below. Try my best, but it always confuses me. Anyway, other than looking the absolute nuts, I'm sure this car is going to sound amazing. It looks good. I'm fairly sure it's got some trick aero that it might be borrowing from the GT350R, is that what it's called? And yeah, they don't mention a top speed or a 0-60 time. I'm assuming that is because they're trying to keep their cards close to their chest, as there is a bit of a power war in America, I think, between the manufacturers. But they did reveal one stat. 0 to 100 miles an hour and then back to 0 again takes just 10.6 seconds. Yeah, pretty mad. This is no doubt helped by the fact they've got a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox that can shift in just 80 milliseconds. Torque is rated at 625 foot-pounds. It's always nice to see America flying the flag for the combustion engine, even in 2019. Now, to finish this week off, I'm just going to jump into Consumer Corner for a minute, and that's because Hyundai have revealed this new sketch of their new i10. The reason I want to talk about this car is because I think the front of it looks very much like an Aston Martin Zagato. Now, I'm going to put a picture of it somewhere on the screen, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who can see the likeness with those round daytime running lights and the big grille. I don't know, I just see a Zagato in there. Not necessarily a bad thing, I'm just saying. Now, I've had a sift through the press release as always. There's a good bit in here. The X-shaped C-pillar, visible from far away, clearly identifies the car and draws the eye to the pillar-mounted logo. Fantastic. More usefully, I can tell you that the car is set to have the latest suite of technology in it and connectivity, so you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in there. You also have plenty of safety tech, so this car has forward collision avoidance assist, or will have, sorry, that'll also detect pedestrians. It'll also be equipped with driver attention warning and lane keep assist systems as standard. Fantastic. I also want to give a quick shout out to Mini. I'm not sure they're going to be watching this, so I don't know why I'll give them a shout out, but it is their 60th anniversary this year, and they did a sort of birthday party for themselves at the Mini plant in Oxford. I believe they had a car there from every year that they've been going, so that's quite cool. And alongside that, they also produced their 10 millionth car this week. As kind of a gift to themselves, it's gone straight into the heritage fleet. It's a nice looking car. It is based on a Cooper S, I believe. So I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. I just want to say thank you for watching. If you do have any comments and sort of suggestions on how to improve this format, please let me know below. It's a bit of an experiment at the moment, and I'm kind of just playing with this setup. So yeah, let me know what you think below, and also give me any comments on any of the stories. I'd like to know your opinion. So yeah, I've been Blee. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.